there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. Many naturally select men listen too much to non-select men. Yeah, and this is something that's been coming up because even though I don't really advertise them, I do consultations. I do consultations, but people have to reach out to me or happen to find an obscure page on my website. It's not something I promote. I figure if people want something, they'll reach out and try to find out. Okay, that's cool and everything. One of the things I've been seeing recently is I've been talking to a lot of dudes who will basically already select. Cousin T-Tar will call them pre-select. And when I say naturally select, they have a combination of physicality and personality just in their natural state. Now, just to be clear, all men ain't like that. The overwhelming majority of men have to build themselves to that select place. But you do have a percentage, roughly 12% of the population, they already have it in them. And like I said, it's a combination of their physicality and their personality. Some guys just got natural charisma. Some guys can just click with women easier. You know, they can draw them to them easier. But one of the things I'm finding, especially after talking with several clients, like paying clients, and they'll say that, you know, until they saw my stuff, they thought they were doing something wrong, or mainly listening to guys who had trouble. Now, I'll share something about myself. I remember when I was younger, I was like chase. I ain't gonna lie, chase. I had several women say, Rom, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. All you have to do is sit back and chill. And then once I started sitting back and chilling and being very selective on who I would even step to, I noticed a big difference. But then I thought about, why was I doing all this extra stuff, all this thirsty stuff? But I was like, you know what? I was listening to guys who really had trouble. Because if you notice, the guys who got the most to say or try to criticize someone else trying to say something are guys, they don't really, if you out with them or you in a position where you can see them actually interact with a woman, they don't really do it. Basically, they're non-select. They are non-select. They have trouble. And indeed, you get a lot of these guys who are up here complaining about women all the time. Meanwhile, the guys, see, one of the things though, the guys who really get to play like that, they ain't really thinking about it. It's actually natural. When it's natural to you, you ain't thinking. You just be like, man, just be confident. Shoot, just say hi. Seriously, they'll say just a lot. Just like, what's your issue? Just say hi. I'm gonna be real. That's one of my weaknesses on trying to explain stuff, because I'm just like, just do this. And I always had to remind myself, like, everybody don't have it like that. Indeed, I've told the story several times. I didn't even really want to put out the book I put out, Nice Guys and Players, at first, or any books for men, because I thought, all men get played. What we need books for? But I was hanging around a bunch of players. But anyway, what I'm finding is a lot of guys, when you look at the people who follow me, who support me, I'm just really co-signing more than teaching them. Let me say that again. I'm co-signing them. And I've had a lot of guys who hit me up or something. They say, you know, I was getting played, but then I came online. I started listening to all these people. All of a sudden, I ain't getting the play like I used to. And I said, go back to what you used to do. Boom. Because one of the things is this. Like when you talk about guys who who have the most negative things to say about women or have got to do all this extra stuff, that's because they ain't naturally select to women. Now, when I talked about the select categories, remember there were subcategories in each. So the guys who listen to too many others a lot of times are the Mr Goodbars. Those are the naturally select people, men, or they have it in them. Like I said, it's a combination of looks and personality. Just to be clear, because you get a lot of guys think it's just the looks. It's another part in there, which I even mentioned in Nice Guys and Players. I said The physicality is just the bait. You gotta, there's a something else. Indeed, I talk about that in a on-demand video that I did called the Goodbar Mystique. And I'll put a link for that in the description box. But it's more to it. And some guys just got it naturally. It's just a part of their personality. And that's the key. But then they'll listen, since it's a part of it, they didn't have to learn it. They'll listen to other guys. They don't realize these, you know, those little girls, like when they were little in preschool, all these little girls were always grabbing them for playtime or wanted to hold their hand or something. Or they didn't realize all these little girls were checking them out. They'll listen to the men in the non-select category. Now, real quick, I talked about Mr. Goodbar. Just real quick, the men in the other men who are select. These are what are termed the masked men. And the thing though, they have to look good. Let's put it like that. They embody that looks, money, and status thing in terms of they have to look good, but they still got to have some money or something. And women, you know, when they can't get at Mr. Goodbar, they'll deal with them, but the guys have to look good. So that's one side, the select. But then you get the non-select, the obvious nice guys, but then you get who are termed gamesmen. And the thing with them is they persistent. And it's actually, they the largest group. They either like chasing or they got issues with women or something. And how they get women, they got to wear the woman down. They really have to have game. But generally, most women going to reject them. That's why, you know, you'll get some of them to say, hey, I got 3 out of 100 women. And it's like, you know, Mr. Goodbar is like, he getting 70 out of 100 without trying. But anyway, you know, they the ones who are saying a lot. So you get that guy who's a natural Goodbar, and, you know, he'll listen to the gamesman and he'll be chasing and stuff. But see, here's the problem with that. When a guy who has a combination of that cool personality and the physical appearance that turns a woman on, you know, he got a naturally good body build, all that stuff. When a woman is pursued by that type of guy, she be saying stuff like, what's wrong with him? Why he chasing me? What's up with him? What's wrong with him that he don't have a girlfriend? That's how it works, seriously. When they see a guy who's attractive, let me just use the term attractive, just naturally attractive to a particular woman, and he's too aggressive, they think something wrong with him. They like, why he chasing me? Because women are very insecure. Like, what he want? Oh, he's a player. It could be a guy who's like totally want to be totally monogamous, but because he's attractive to her, she's wondering what's up. See, the thing about really attractive men, they got to kind of let the women kind of try to seduce them. Check out that video, the Goodbar Mystique. Check that out. But that's how they have to roll. But see, a lot of those guys who got that natural attractiveness, they'll listen to the gamesmen. They're not considered attractive to women. That's why they have to do what they do and be, I'm tripping over that word, persistent. That's why they have to tell the requisite lie. That's why they have to come with a trick or something, you know? Whereas the naturally attractive man, he can just sit back and chill. He can go in a corner and eat his buffalo wings. But see, they'll listen to, unless they are raised up by some uncles or fathers or somebody who's on that game themselves. Like, and when I say game, like just drawing the women to them who are Goodbars themselves, they get caught up with what the dude's doing in the neighborhood. And that's what I found. That's the most consistent single thing. They'll listen to the wrong guys. And it's tough. In all fairness, it ain't like they in the wrong or anything, because one of the problems out here, we don't have a rites of passage for young men. In communities and cultures that have rites of passage, the older men would formally train the younger men on what they needed to do. Let me say it again. They would formally train the men on what they needed to do. To be honest, right now, a man just gotta be lucky. Maybe if he was lucky, he had an older player he could like model and pay attention to them. You know, both my grandfathers were players. They were players. And both of them had kids outside of marriage, multiple children, everything. And I modeled them. So, you know, and even then, you know, I still would kind of listen to some guys. Oh, okay, everybody else doing this, let me do this. And like I said, women had to hit me up and say, Ron, you don't need to do all that. You don't need it. It makes you look thirsty. It makes you look pressed. You know, so stop that, start winning. But that's the thing. And it's tough out there. But you know, and I think, I'm gonna tell you what, the best thing a man could do is find that one woman or a couple women who just honest with him, not try and get anything from him, not his mom, because the mom's always gonna love you. It's just that woman who's gonna be straight up with you. You know, then you can know where you really stand. Because I'm gonna tell you what, ultimately you can't listen to another man. That's something. That's halfway another video. In fact, I'm gonna get into that in the next video. I'm gonna get into that in the next video. You know, that general thing. Because a woman, she's going to tell you from the position of her having a vagina. All right. So anyway, that's just something. I just wanted to bring that up. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.